So Saquon Barkley responded to a fan after getting criticized for him going to the 76ers Knicks game, and this was the exchange. It's been 2 months, LOL. No way y'all can still be mad. MF can't even go to a basketball game. That was Saquon Barkley, followed up by @JPK Mets saying, you bailed on New York, sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. And then Saquon responds with this. Let me educate some of you fans here. I can't bail or become a traitor if I never got an offer to come back. So I went to the organization I felt that was the best, and after already being here for a month, man, I'm excited to be an Eagle. Go Birds. I think the Giants are about to make a massive mistake, but that's actually the question I have for you. Will the Giants regret not giving Saquon a contract offer for the 2024-2025 season?
Oh, yeah. They're going to regret it, and they're going to even feel the pain twice a year when Saquon Barkley comes in there and runs for over 100 yards, 2 games, and catches a bunch of passes.
Wow.
And they beat the Giants. And they're not going to be that tough to beat the Giants this year because they're not going to be – I don't think they're going to be much of a team. They did show some confidence in Daniel Jones by drafting Neighbors as their first-round pick, outstanding wide receiver, probably going to be one of the best out there once he gets little experience. So I think that they're going to wish they had signed him, particularly when they didn't really replace him with anyone too great, right?
Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary, who is I'd say a little beyond his prime right now, and never really had any years that were that outstanding. He was pretty good with Buffalo for a while. So he never got an offer. I find that hard to believe, and the way they treated him, he was had the franchise tag there for a while. They said they're going to franchise tag him. He took a contract for 1 year for $10 million, almost $10.1 million, with almost $1 million in incentives, and that was 2023, right? For this season, he wound up with 962 yards, 6 TDs, 41 passes for 280 yards, 4 TDs. So he had 10 touchdowns. He was their most productive offensive player by far, and he missed 3 games. So he's still got it. He's still got it in the tank. I mean, when he first started, 2018, he had one of the best years any rookie ever had, right? 1,307 yards, 11 TDs, 91 passes caught for 721 yards for 4 TDs. So he had 15 touchdowns and 2,000 total yards. He made the Pro Bowl Offensive Rookie of the Year. He had a fantastic season. Unfortunately, the next 3 years, he was hurt. He never really played that well in the next 3 years because of the injuries. And then in 2022, he bounced right back. 1,300 yards, 10 TDs, made the Pro Bowl, right? And last year, he fell off a little bit, but again, he had a little bit of injuries. I think the guy's still got a lot going for him, and the Eagles recognize that, gave him 3 years, $37.75 million deal. And he's at the basketball game rooting for Philadelphia. So good luck, Saquon. I'm rooting for you. I think that the Giants are going to really regret it.
I think 100% they're going to regret it because they didn't even really try to fill in his role with the same level type of running back. Devin Singletary ain't nothing too special. He had an okay season with Houston last year and a couple okay seasons with Buffalo. But think about this. The Giants really got nobody. So let's say Devin Singletary, you give him 15 carries. You're going to put in another back eventually. The next one into that chart is Eric Gray, then Tyron Tracy Jr., then Gary Brightwell. You don't have depth whatsoever. Like, for instance, one of the teams like the Miami Dolphins, who we're going to talk about later on in the show, is they got a couple very good backs to nice backs. You got Devin Achane, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, who was pretty good with the 49ers when he got his time to shine. The entire Giants offense, the offensive line is improving slightly, but just the entire offense is not really that good. Malik Neighbors from day one will be your wide receiver one. He's better than Slayton. He's better than Wan'Dale Robinson, Hyatt, McKenzie, whoever you want to say. He's better than all of them from day one. Devin Singletary's your running back. Your offensive line's improving. Darren Waller is still contemplating retirement. And then you have your quarterback who's going to be throwing them the football, Daniel Jones. The biggest mistake the Giants will make, or will have made, is giving Daniel Jones that 4-year contract. And we've talked about this ad nauseum. That is a massive mistake because this is why the franchise tag is made, for reasons like Daniel Jones, so you're not stuck with a bad player for an extended period of time. Give him a franchise tag. Now think about this. The Giants picked 6. Let's say Daniel Jones does the same thing he did this year, and they drafted a quarterback. You would have the opportunity to get Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, or Bo Nix. You don't think J.J. McCarthy could have done something here? You don't think any other quarterback could be okay with this system?
I think J.J. McCarthy might have struggled in the
J.J. McCarthy,
Giants.
maybe. I'll give you that, maybe.
Because he's always played with elite players around him, coming through high school, the academy there that he played at, and then college, and coming on the Giants. It's going to be a struggle.
Right.
You got Neighbors, who's going to be, as I said, I think he'll be great, but he's a rookie. And the offensive line is still very much a question mark. They don't have much at running back, and I just think that they're going to be heavily relying on the quarterback. McCarthy, somebody who was a game manager for sure. We don't know much about how he's going to do when he has to throw the ball 30, 35 times a game when he only threw it an average of 17 in college. So I think he would have struggled with them.
I would definitely say McCarthy just because he wasn't relied on at Michigan. But the way that the Giants are built, it's very heavily on defense. We're talking about Dexter Lawrence, Raheem Nunez-Roches, Brian Burns, Bobby Okereke, Kayvon Thibodeau, Jalen Mills, Deonte Banks. Very heavily on the defensive side. So we're talking about, as long as Daniel Jones doesn't throw 4 interceptions, they're trying to go for like a 7-3 win.
Maybe, like the Patriots.
10-6 win, something like that. That's basically what they're going to try to do.
It went very well for the Patriots last year. They won 4 games.
As long as there's no self-inflicting wounds like Mac Jones did last season, and partially Bailey Zappi. I mean, we saw Daniel Jones regress severely, but I think you would give him a Malik Neighbors, which the Patriots didn't do for Mac Jones. You give him a true wide receiver 1, I think that'll help you a little bit. But this team is still god-awful. I'm picking them still last in the division. Absolutely. And we're talking about a potential opportunity, the Giants drafting a Shedeur Sanders, a Quinn Ewers. Or if you decide to skip a year, keep it in the family. Go Arch Manning in 2026. That's something you could do. Now, my guess will be you're probably going to get off Daniel Jones in this season because it makes the most sense contractually, unless he has a phenomenal year. Then you'd be like, okay, he had an okay season.
Well, Drew Lock will probably get a chance, right?
Probably.
They told him he'd have a chance to compete,
supposedly,
and they didn't draft a quarterback, so they're going to give him a chance if Daniel Jones comes up small.
I think that's what we're expecting because also Daniel Jones has an injury guarantee, and if he does get hurt, the entirety of his contract next season is fully guaranteed. So you do not want him to get hurt. So we're going to see exactly what we've seen for the past 2 seasons with Derek Carr getting benched the last 2 games, Russell Wilson getting benched the last 2 games. Not necessarily based off performance, but because of contractual obligations or contractual pieces that say, hey, if you get hurt, we're going to owe you a bunch of money. And I think at the Giants at this stage, that's not what they want to do. And I think Brian Daboll's coaching for his job. I think that Daniel Jones, his job is basically done with. I think he knows that. They got Drew Lock in to maybe start the last 3 games if need be. But Brian Daboll, I think, is on the hot seat just circumstantial. I think he's a good coach.
I think he's on the hot seat.
I think he's still a good coach because he refined Josh Allen's
game. He's a little
game.
crazy as a head coach.
Well,
I think he's a good coach. He goes nuts on the sidelines.
I
worry about that guy. I worry about that guy. He's very heavy. It's kind of a heart attack over there on the sidelines. He's going nuts.
Wasn't Rex Ryan very vocal and animated?
Well, he lost weight after his first year, but Brian Daboll, man, tone it down, big guy.
Well, I mean, if you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback, I would also be, very hot-headed as well. And there was a moment, Seahawks, Devin Witherspoon got a 99-yard pick 6 off Daniel Jones, and Brian Daboll was not a happy guy, especially in the face of Daniel Jones too. So, yeah, I think the fact that the Giants never even offered Saquon Barkley a contract and then decided to sign a 3-year, $12.5 million contract with Philadelphia, the arch rival of the Giants.
$37.75 million.
Well, 3 years, 12 and a half over 3 years. I think
12 and a half average.
Right, per year. I think that it's embarrassing. It's very, very embarrassing for Joe Shane to not bring this really to the table? Yes. Was he when he was asking for $15 million or 16, whatever the number was, 14 to 60 million? Was that a little bit ridiculous? Yeah. But also is franchise tagging the wrong player. So I think, like you said, this is going to come back to bite him. I expect Saquon, especially behind that offensive line, which is top 3, if not top 2. Some people, I'm sure, would have them number 1 in the NFL. We saw Swift have a pretty good year. I think we're going to see a phenomenal season from Saquon as long as he stays healthy.
Right.
Staying
healthy.
Behind that offensive line, he should be relatively healthy.
Yeah.
The Giants' offensive line was a sieve.
And catch the ball out of the backfield, too.
Correct. So I think, yeah, I agree with you. Saquon's going to absolutely
He's only 27 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I
at least
agree.
I think that's a good contract for the Eagles. He'll be 30 years old at the end of that contract. We'll see if he has any gas left in the tank then, but he should have 3 good years if he stay healthy, as you say.
Yeah. So Saquon Barkley, Giants, the schedule should be coming out in a couple weeks or so, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. Highlight the dates on the calendar for Giants and Eagles. Should be fun to watch. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.